Okay, so today we are going to be reading a story called The Emperor's New Clothes. Okay? Quickly, let's review the parts of a fairy tale. Okay, so the first thing in a fairy tale is that it has royal family. Who is the royal family from the fisherman and his wife? Clayton.
The fish.
The fish, he was a prince.
And then the woman.
And the woman, she became a what?
She became
A queen. Okay, then we have, can anybody read this for me? What does this say? Layla?
magical character.
Magical characters. Who's our magical character from our last story, Lizzie?
The fish.
The fish. Okay, then we have, somebody read this one for me. Landon.
Magical events.
Magical events. We had lots of magical events that happened, right? All of the wishes were magical events from our story. What's this say? It says, can everybody read it with me? Once upon a time, beginnings. Our last one, it started with the word once, so which is close. Can we read this together? Happily ever after endings. Did we really know for sure on our last one? No, so we just wrote maybe. Okay, today we are going to be learning about the Emperor's New Clothes. Lizzie, come grab a blurb tip. Now, before we get into our story, I need everybody to grab their vocabulary list that I handed you today. Grab your vocabulary list, okay? I'm going to read through the vocabulary words, the definition, and the example. Okay, this is something you'll be getting in your homework packet that will stay home with you for you to practice throughout the week, just like we did last week. Okay, and every day I'll ask for examples. So you need to make sure you're studying these. Okay, number one is curious. Curious means having a desire to learn more about something. For example, the puppy was curious about the snow. Has anybody ever seen a curious puppy? Who's like trying to figure things out, or a kitten who like wants, that's curious, okay?
Yes.
Number two, ignorant. That means lacking knowledge or information. For example, the visitors were ignorant of local customs. So ignorant means that you don't know about something. You lack information about that thing. Number three, inspect. If you were inspecting your desk, show me what that would look like. Inspect your desk. I see everybody's looking very carefully at their desk right now. That's the definition of inspect. The detective inspected the shoe print. Inspect. And this week we only have 4. So our fourth one is intelligent. Intelligent means able to easily understand things. For example, dolphins are very intelligent animals. Okay, this sheet needs to go inside of your plastic sleeve for your vocabulary words. So add it into your plastic sleeve. You might have to bend it to get it into the sleeve, okay? Okay, I'm going to show you what I mean by bend it by using accents. Okay, eyes up here, friends. You might have to bend it sideways like this. Make a loop. Put the loop in, and then slide it in. Okay? Okay, I'm going to count down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Just like last time, we're going to start our story out by doing a picture walk. Does anybody remember what a picture walk is? Jonah? Yeah, where we kind of look through the book to get an idea of who's going to be in the story, the characters. We're going to make some predictions. Okay. This is the beginning of the story. Which person in this story looks like a king? Which one looks like a king? Landon, who looks like the king?
The one that's standing up.
The one that's standing up, the guy with the brown shirt on or the guy with the blue shirt on? The blue pants. This is the emperor in the story. An emperor is sort of like a king, okay? All right. Axon, who do you think those two visitors are? Who do you think those two visitors are?
The two guys. The one with the suits and brown shirt and hat, and the one that's down.
The guy kind of kneeling before them. Renzo, why do you think these two visitors might be visiting the emperor? What do you think they might be doing? What? Say it louder.
They might be tricking him.
You think they're going to be tricking him? Okay. Pay attention to their tattered clothes. Do you guys all see how their clothes kind of have rips in them? They're sort of falling apart. Their clothes are. Look at their facial expressions. Do they look sad?
Tackle.
How do they look? Clayton?
They look like they want money.
They look like they might be begging or asking for money. Ooh, that's a good idea. Yeah, Lorenzo's right. These two men are trying to trick the emperor. These two men are called swindlers. So they're called swindlers. So they're trying to trick him or swindle him. Okay, so the two men say that they are weavers. Weavers are people who make cloth, okay? Weavers are working, well, the weavers here in this picture, we assume that they're weavers. They're working to make cloth or to weave cloth on their loom. A loom is a big machine that makes cloth, but do you see any cloth on their looms? Look. Do we see any cloth on there? No. So we don't see any cloth on their loom. So that's a pretty good idea. Wait, you guys can't even see the picture, can you?
No.
You guys are probably like, Mrs. Mitt, what are you talking about? Okay. For some reason, it's not loading. So
Can I come up there?
you can sit behind the camera. Okay, hold on, friends. For some reason, Okay, let me try it again. Let me X out of everything. And we'll try again. For some reason, this isn't wanting to work today. It's frozen. Lizzie, yeah, you can sit behind the camera. Okay, let's try this again.
Can I sit behind the camera too?
I do not know, friends, why this is not loading. Okay, let's try again. Yes, Renzo, you may put your mask on. Let's try again. Maybe it'll work this time, hopefully, because we have a lot of pictures to look at today. Okay. Alright, so now do you guys see the two weavers, and they're sitting there at their loom, but there's no cloth on their loom. Do you see that? Their looms are empty. So they're trying to weave cloth on an empty loom. Okay. Look at the man in the doorway. Does everybody see the man standing and peeking in the doorway?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you see it, Kinley? Can you see it from back there? Can you see the man? Okay, put your mask on and come up here. Jonah, same thing. Mask up. Okay. That man is the prime minister. So he's a wise person who gives the emperor advice. So you guys see him peeking in and watching them, pretending to make things on the loom? Okay. All right, next picture. Oh, yay, it changed. Okay. Can someone point to me the emperor? Point to me the emperor. Layla? Where's the emperor? Well, you'll have to sit forward. I can't move that because I have to record. So you need to move forward. Okay, the camera has to stay there so you can sit on the floor with your mask on. Jonah, who's the emperor?
That guy in the middle.
What guy? What's he look like? Describe him.
He had no shirt.
He has no shirt on, okay? How do you know that he's the emperor? How do you know he's the emperor, Nevaeh? What's he got on his head? And who's surrounding him? All the guards are surrounding him. Why is this picture funny? Tell a partner. Why is this picture funny? Jonah, why don't you work with accent? Yes. Okay. Alright, so on that picture that you guys were given in your packet, so you friends, you need to go back to your seats really quickly. On this picture that is in your packet, you need to write who the characters are in this picture, okay? Who are the characters? We know who that middle guy is. He's the what? Go sit. He is the what, Nevaeh? Well, he's not a king. He's called what, Alice? He's the emperor, so you're going to write emperor. Then who are the other two guys? What did I call them? Started with the S. Swin. What was it? What was it, Clayton? Swindler. So where it says characters, you're going to write emperor and swindlers, okay? I want you to tap it out and try your best to spell it. Emperor and swindlers. So right, friends, you should be writing now. You shouldn't be staring up at the board. Where it says characters, swindlers. Everybody say swindlers.
Swindlers.
Okay, you should be able to tap some of the sounds out in swindlers. Actually, you should be able to tap all the sounds out in swindlers. Okay? So you're writing swindler and emperor. You can try and tap it out. Can someone remind me what a setting is? What's a setting? Lizzie?
The background, like where they are.
Where they are and Hadley? When. So where and when. Is this taking place in modern day United States? Does this take place today? No. When is this set? When is this setting? When did we have emperors? Did we have it today? No. So when is this setting? Kinley, when is the setting? Okay, a castle, but yes, that would be where, but when? Today?
No.
When? Okay, guys, wake up. Wake up. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to restart. I want everybody to put their heads down. Everybody put your head down. Okay, I'm going to count to 10. When I get to 10, when I get to 10, I want you to sit up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sit up. Okay, we're ready to pay attention, right? We're ready to pay attention and do our jobs. Okay? When is this? When is this? When is it happening, Connor?
In the daytime.
Daytime, but when? Today?
No.
When?
Way back ago.
A long time ago. So when you go to setting, you're going to write a long time ago in a castle. Kinley told us where it's a castle and when is a long time ago. Okay, I'm going to give you a couple minutes to write that under setting. working. I'm going to count down to 0. When I get to 0, I want your pencils down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, so this is where the emperor meets the swindlers. Today's fairy tale has the title, The Emperor's New Clothes. Say the word emperor with me 3 times. Emperor, emperor, emperor. An emperor is a king or someone who is the ruler of an empire or a very large area of land. So it's usually many different nations. Okay? Someone tell me once again, who's the emperor in this picture? Which one is he? Hadley. Describe him. Which one is he? Which one is the emperor? Call on a friend to help you.
What is it? It's the king.
Which one, though? Which one's the king? How do you know? Use your context clues. How do we know which one it is? Axton.
Because he has the crown and he has
The scepter? Yeah, he's got a crown and a scepter and he's got a throne, okay? When you hear the word emperor, what do you think of? What do you think of when you hear the word emperor? Hadley, what do you think of when you hear the word emperor? I need you to participate. What do you think of? Emperor, what do you think of? Emperor. Just say a word that you think of. Nice. Maybe nice. An emperor might be nice. Clayton, what do you think of when you hear the word emperor?
I think it's like a guy who wears a crown.
Okay, that's what you think of?
Or he's a ruler of the land.
He's a big ruler of the land. In today's fairy tale, 2 swindlers trick the people. Say the word swindlers with me 3 times. Swindlers, swindlers, swindlers. Swindlers are people who trick others, usually in order to get other people's money or their things. Okay? Now, be careful not to get tricked by swindlers who try to sell you broken things. The swindlers told the emperor that they would make his clothes out of magic cloth. Tell your partner whether or not you believe what the swindlers say. Are they going to make him clothes out of magic cloth?
No. I just don't know. I don't really think you can make stuff like out of
Okay, what do we think, class? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Are they gonna or no? Are they gonna make him magic stuff or are they not gonna? Okay, so today as we listen, we've got a couple of things that we need to be able to do, okay? First off, we need to be able to tell the story of the Emperor's New Clothes, just like we can tell the story of the fish, right? We know that fisherman and his wife's story. We can tell it. We have to be able to describe our characters, the setting, and what happens in our story. We need to identify our once upon a time beginning, royal characters, magical characters, and events, and our happy endings. And we need to identify all of our fairy tale elements in our charts quickly. All right. Are you ready for our story? Okay. All right. Many years ago, there was an emperor who loved fine or very nice and beautiful clothes. He did not care for or did not like hunting. He did not care for plays, opera, or art. He was no lover of gourmet food or wine. His only ambition and goal was always to be well dressed. He had a different coat for every hour of the day. He loved to walk about and show off his fancy outfits. One day, two strangers arrived in town. Where are the two strangers in this picture? Renzo, with your mask on, come up here. Point to the two strangers. Point to the two strangers. Yep, so the two strangers came to town, and they were swindlers. Remember, swindlers means people who trick others. They said they were master weavers from a faraway land. Somebody tell me once again, what was a weaver? What did a weaver do? What did a weaver do, Clayton?
They made clothes.
Yeah, they made cloth, right? They told the emperor that they could weave the most beautiful cloth in the world. They said that not only was their cloth beautiful, but it was also magical. It was specially woven so that only the most intelligent and smart people could see it. Those who were ignorant and did not know much could stare at the cloth all day and not see a thing. Astonishing, thought the emperor. I will have these men make a suit for me. When it is done, I will figure out who can see it. That way, I will be able to tell which men are intelligent and which are fools. The emperor gave the swindlers a purse filled with gold coins and told them to begin weaving the magic cloth right away. The swindlers set up two weaving looms and pretended to be weaving their wonderful cloth. What's wrong with this picture, friends? Can you see any cloth on the looms? Marissa, do you see any cloth on these looms?
No.
No. They had nothing at all on their looms. After a few days, the emperor grew curious to see the cloth. The emperor was interested in the magical cloth the weavers were making and wanted to know more about it. At first, he thought he might check up on the weavers himself. But then he remembered what they had said. Only intelligent people could see the cloth. He was confident and sure that he was smart. There could be little doubt of that. But what if he was not? What if he could not see the cloth? Just to be on the safe side, he decided to send his prime minister to have a look. Remember that a prime minister is an important person to the emperor because the prime minister gives him advice and he's supposed to be very wise and tell him what to do, okay? He is very intelligent, said the king, and he can't see the cloth. I dare say nobody can. The emperor called for the prime minister and sent him to check up on the weavers. The prime minister went to the room and peeked in. The two swindlers were working away at their looms. The emperor called, Prime Minister, one of the swindlers called out. You are welcome here. Come in. Come and see the cloth we have produced. The man waved his hand at the empty loom and said, Isn't it beautiful? The prime minister squinted and rubbed his eyes and he rubbed his head. He did not see any cloth at all, but he did not dare to admit it. That would mean he was a fool. So he pretended to see the cloth. Yes, said the prime minister, it is most beautiful. Indeed, I like it very much. Keep up the good work. What do we notice about their faces? What do we notice about their faces? Marissa?
They're shocked.
They're shocked. Why might they be a little surprised here? Can he actually see any cloth? No, because is there any cloth actually there? No, because what are they doing? They're doing what to him? What are they doing to him? What are they doing, Lizzie? They're faking. They're swindling him. The prime minister turned to leave, but the second swindler called out to him, Wait! Don't go. You must not leave without touching the cloth. I think you will be impressed with our weaving skills. We were just saying that it is the softest cloth we have ever created. The prime minister hesitated for a moment. Does anybody remember what that word hesitated meant from last week? What did it mean? Kinley, do you remember? Stopped he stopped for a moment. Then he said, "Of course, of course." And he walked up to one of the looms. He reached out his hand and rubbed his fingers together in the area where he thought the cloth must be. He could not feel anything, but he said, "It is very soft indeed. Why, it's lighter than air." Tell your partner, is the Prime Minister telling the truth? Why do you think he described it as being lighter than the air? Layla, why do you think? Because he can't actually see it or touch it, right? "Thank you," said the first swindler. "We are pleased with what we have done, and we are making very good progress, too. The magical cloth is almost finished, but we need a little more money for thread and other materials. Of course, you understand." Of course, said the Prime Minister. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a bag of coins. Then he handed the coins to the swindlers. "Would you have given the weavers more money?" Tell your partner. Would you have given the weavers more money? Why? Tell your partner. Why not? Or why? Okay, class. The Prime Minister went back to the Emperor and told him that the cloth was quite lovely and as soft as could be. He said he was confident the Emperor would like it. That was what the Emperor had hoped to hear. The next day, he went to have a look for himself. After all, if his Prime Minister had seen the cloth, surely he could see it too. Thank you. Okay, hold on. There we go. But when he stepped into the room where the two men had set up their looms, the Emperor saw nothing on the looms. What can we tell? What's the Emperor doing in this picture? What's he doing, Axton?
He looks like he's happy and he's actually doing it, but they all they say if you're smiling, you're lying, so they're both smiling.
Oh, you think that they're lying, so they're smiling? What about the Emperor? What's he kind of doing? What's he doing? He's what? What's he doing? Nevaeh, what's he doing?
He is.
What's the Emperor doing?
He's confused.
He's very confused. He's thinking. So the Emperor, he's thinking to himself right now, "This is terrible," he thought. "I don't see anything at all. What can this mean? If the Prime Minister saw the cloth, it must be there. Then why can't I see it? Am I stupid? Am I unfit to be Emperor? That would be the most dreadful thing that could happen to me." So is he saying this out loud right now? Is he saying it out loud right now? No. What's he doing? He's what, Alice? He's just thinking all these thoughts. So what characters have we met so far in this story? What characters have we met so far, Hadley? What characters have we met? Give me one. The Emperor. What's another character? Who's another character that we have met? Renzo.
Prime Minister.
The Prime Minister. Who are the other two characters, Connor? Starts with an S. Swindlers. The two swindlers. What do the swindlers say they are making on their weaving looms? I'm just going to call from the hat because we're really struggling to pay attention today, friends. Renzo, what do the swindlers say they are making on their weaving looms? Magic cloth. Jonah, who does the Emperor send to check on his cloth? What was he called? Starts with a P. A prime For the Prime Minister. Nevaeh, what does the Prime Minister see? Nothing. He sees nothing. Weston's gone today. Sorry, friends. He's gone today too. Layla, can the Emperor see the cloth?
No.
How does that make him feel?
He thinks that he's dumb.
Yeah, he thinks he's stupid, doesn't he? What do you guys think that the Emperor's gonna say about the cloth, Alice? What do you think the Emperor's gonna say? You think he's gonna admit he can't see it, or you think he's gonna lie too? You think he's gonna admit he can't see it? Does anybody think he's gonna lie about it and pretend that he can see it? Raise your hand if you think he's gonna pretend he can see it, like the Prime Minister did, so he doesn't seem stupid. Okay, hands down. Raise your hand if you think he's gonna tell the truth. You think he's gonna tell the truth? Okay. All right. Out loud, he said, "It is magnificent, truly magnificent. Why, I've never seen cloth so lovely." So, tell your partner, why did the Emperor say the opposite of what he actually thinks? Why did he? Nope. Tell your partner, why did he say the opposite? Why did he say he could see it? Axton and Marissa. Nope. Okay, nope. Okay, what do we think? Why did he say the opposite? Connor, why did he say he could see it? But why did he say he could see it? Why do you think he said he could see it? You guys need to put your thinking caps on. It didn't tell us. Why do we think he says he can see it? Landon?
Because he didn't want to make him sad.
Because he didn't want to come across as what? What are you if you can't see the cloth? What are you, Jonah?
Dumb.
You're considered ignorant. If you can't see the cloth, you're considered foolish and stupid. Does he want to come across as foolish and stupid? No, he wants to be intelligent. So why would he lie and say he could see it? So he could be what, Axton?
So he could
He wanted to seem what? Smart or dumb? He wanted to seem smart. So, shall we go ahead and make you a suit then, Your Majesty? Yes, by all means, said the Emperor. You can get my measurements from the royal tailor. A tailor is someone who makes clothes, okay? All right, let's wait for that to switch. The two swindlers sat up late into the night pretending to work on the suit. They wove more invisible cloth that could not be seen. They cut the air with scissors and stitched the wind with their threadless needles. Pretend we're making an invisible suit. Everybody pretend to grab a thread and some needle and pretend you're making a suit. Cut it. Can you imagine doing that all night? You're pretending that you're making a suit, but you're not actually doing it. That's what they were doing. Other noblemen came to inspect or look carefully at the cloth, and all of them pretended to be able to see it, for they did not wish to appear stupid. Soon the whole town was talking about the wonderful cloth and the Emperor's new suit. Could anyone actually see it?
No,
so they're all pretending. At last, the day came when the Emperor was to wear his new clothes in public. Quickly. The two swindlers presented themselves in the Emperor's dressing room at daybreak. Guys, sorry, this is not wanting to load today. I already switched it, but it's... Okay, there we go. The two swindlers presented themselves in the Emperor's dressing room at daybreak. "Here is the jacket," said the first swindler, holding up an empty hanger. "And here are the pants," said the other, holding one hand in the air. "What do you think of them?" All of the Emperor's men agreed that the new clothes were splendid. The Emperor took off his clothes, and the two swindlers pretended to help him put on the make-believe garments. "Slip your right leg in here, Your Majesty. That's it. Now your left leg. Good. Now I must tell you, these pants are not like regular pants. The fabric is so light and airy that it feels like you're wearing nothing at all. But that's the beauty of them. The men helped the emperor put on the invisible, imaginary clothes. Okay. All right, then they led him to his looking glass. What's a looking glass? What's a looking glass, Hadley? A mirror. How handsome you look, your majesty, said one of the swindlers. All of the courtiers, or people who were with them, nodded their heads in agreement. How do you guys think the emperor looks? How do you think the emperor looks right now? Lizzie?
He doesn't really look that good.
How does he look?
He looks naked.
He looks naked. Why do you guys think that no one's telling the emperor that he's naked? Marissa?
Because that girl has her eyes closed and they don't want to act like they're dumb.
Yeah, they don't want to come across dumb. They want to be able to see the clothes, because do they actually believe that there are clothes there?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just think they can't see them, right? We gotta wait for this to switch. Okay. The emperor marched out of the dressing room and made his way out of the palace, followed by many advisors and servants. He marched down the main street of town with soldiers and bodyguards surrounding him on all sides. The streets were lined with great crowds. Everyone had heard about the emperor's new clothes, made of magic fabric that only the wise could see. How lovely the emperor's new clothes are, one man said. And how well they fit him, added a woman. None of them would admit that they could see nothing. So they're just watching their emperor walk down in his undies. Okay. The emperor marched through the street, bursting with pride, showing off his brilliant new suit to everyone in the land. Much to his surprise, they all seemed to see what he could not. And so he was not going to be the one to tell them that he could not see his own clothes. Just then, a young child stepped out of the crowd and cried out, "Hey! He hasn't got anything on!" A hush fell over the crowd. For a few seconds, nobody said anything. Then everyone began to whisper, "The child is right. The emperor isn't wearing a thing." Then people began to giggle and laugh as they cried out, "He hasn't got anything on!" At last, the emperor knew he had been tricked. He tried to march back to the palace as proudly as ever, but he was blushing and turned pink from head to toe, as everyone could plainly see. So when do people blush? Does anyone know when someone might blush? What do you think, Jonah?
When they get really embarrassed.
Yeah, he was embarrassed. Okay, how could everyone see he was blushing from head to toe? How come everyone could see that? Because he what? Because he's actually not got any clothes on,
Except
right?
he only has his.
Okay, class.
Yes.
Put on your thinking cap, because we're going to answer some questions about our story. Okay? All right, I'm going to just call from the hat. You need to have an answer for me. I'm not going to let you call in a friend. So you need to come up with an answer. So we're really thinking. Clayton, what is the title of this fairy tale?
The Emperor's New Clothes.
The Emperor's New Clothes. Good. All right. Let's see. Jonah, how do you know that this story is a fairy tale?
Because it's not really because no one would want to do something like that.
Because it didn't happen in real life? Okay, yeah, that's true. What are some of our elements? It has what? What is this? Read this. What is this, Hadley? It has royal family. Does it have some magical events? Yeah, what did they pretend that they could do? Make magical what? Make magical clothing. Would we actually believe that and not a fairy tale? Would we believe that someone could make magic clothes? No, because we know magic clothes aren't real. Did it have a once upon a time beginning? Does it have a happily ever after ending this time?
No.
No. chart. Okay? Okay, not right now, guys. You cannot use the restroom right now. We're learning. Okay. Who were the magical character? Actually, who is the royal family? Who is the royal family? Or who are the royal characters? Alice? We had an emperor. And we had his what? Started with a P. His prime what? Clayton?
Prime Minister.
And we had a prime minister. Okay, do we have any magical characters or characters who pretended to be magical? Who were they? Who were they, Connor? Starts with an S. The swindlers. So we have the two swindlers.
Why would you trust someone that has swindlers?
Well, did they know they were swindlers? Did the people in the land know that they were swindlers? No, right? Okay, what magical event happened in this story? Lizzie? Or did they think happened?
Well, they think that he got a new dress, like a new outfit, but that's not true.
Yeah, so they pretended to make magic clothes. All right. And did it have a once upon a time beginning? Yeah, it did. Remember, our story started out many years ago, right? Is that a once upon a time beginning? Yes, it's one of our once a time beginnings. So many years ago. Did we have a happily ever after ending?
Yes.
Yes or no?
No.
Did they live happily ever after? No, they did not this time. Okay. All right, we are going to take a break. We're going to stretch. We're going to do a go noodle. And we're going to get our thinking hats on for foundations.